Oh, hello, Georgia. Again,
Hi.
so glad to see you again. And let's try to talk. We'd like to know about you. We would like to know more about you. Because actually, at least me, myself, and my friends, we have been absolutely fascinated by you. I have to say that. Yes, yes. And I can tell you that this friend of mine, he brought this book to me, and I started reading it in the evening. And you know what? I did not sleep that night. I could not stop. I thought, I don't care. I have to get up in the morning, take children to school. I don't care. I need to know, the end of the book. And you know what? I'm not the only one. I have to tell you. 2 or 3 other my friends told me the same story. They started reading the book, the same thing. They did not sleep at night until they. So, thank you.
Thank you. I'm really excited that people have liked it so much. I really didn't think when I wrote it that it would be such a big hit that it has been. So it's really, really gratifying to hear from different readers saying that they really enjoyed it or that it meant a lot to them. So thanks for telling me.
Yeah, yes, it did. And once again, I'm not the only one. I think you will hear similar stories, because somehow this book, the story, I don't know how to say it, like hit the spot. It's also, I have to say, it's very graphic the way it's written. So it actually, I couldn't even see how you can make a movie out of it.
I think that would be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be an amazing thing if it could happen someday.
Yeah. So let's keep our fingers crossed. How do you say it in English?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So we'll see if anybody will be so interested. I think it would be a really great idea. Really great idea.
That would be amazing.
I have a few kind of personal questions. As far as I understand, you converted to Orthodoxy not very long time ago, right? Am I right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
I think it was about 6 years ago now when I started coming to the Orthodox Church here, and I was baptized 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. And what did influence you? What made you interested in Orthodoxy?
Well, at the time I was going through some very difficult personal struggles. I just graduated from college, and I had been studying ballet up till then. It's funny talking to people in Russia because I was in love with the Russian ballet, with the Moscow and the Bolshoi and the different ballet companies, and I really wanted to be a ballerina, and I had to stop for health reasons, and so I felt like my whole world was just sort of falling apart. And I had one ballet teacher who was Orthodox. I didn't know that he was Orthodox, and he saw me struggling so much and said, "You really should come to the church that I go to, because it's just so beautiful, and I think you would find, the solution to all your problems will be there." And I thought, well, that's a really easy thing to say, but surely not, But I went to a Vesper service, and it was just so beautiful. The music and the icons and all of the things that I had never seen at my church, because we are Protestant, I was Protestant, and we hadn't had any of those things. And it was just the fulfillment of all the things I had been really longing for all of my life, that I'd been looking for in ballet and in writing and in art. And I found little pieces of them, but coming into the Orthodox Church for the first time, it was like, here it is. It's like this, of course, this is what I have been looking for. It was just right from the beginning.
Yeah, I could tell. I saw some of your pictures you made. Well, some of them were in the book and some on your page, and I was very much impressed. Actually, I have to say, I was very much impressed with your drawings.
Thank you.
Yeah, did you take some classes, or is it just natural talent?
My mother was an art teacher when I was a child, so she, we've always been drawing in our family since I was little, but I never went to school for it or anything. I'm just now actually starting to, I say starting, I've been working for 3 years, learning to paint icons. So I'm finally starting to study and really work on that, but I haven't really spent much time
very interesting
doing school for that.
Very interesting. So you started working with your body as a beauty, then you went to the music and words, and now you draw. It's actually, that's amazing.
Right.
This is very interesting. This is twist in your life, but I think it's perfect. It's the harmony of everything, and I totally understand what that you founded in Orthodox Church, with icons and painting and music and word. The word.
It's all there. Yeah. It's all there. Yeah. Not the dance, but that's okay. We can have that outside.
Well, being aware of your body, the way you move, the way you hold yourself, the way you present to other people and to you, I think that's all there. It's all.
That's absolutely true. And just Orthodoxy is so much more physical than Protestant churches. Even making the sign of the cross and doing prostrations are things that I was not doing before, and now it's a way to be fully active in worship. So I really, really appreciate that in Orthodoxy as well.
Oh, I had a question. How long does it take to write a novel?
Oh, goodness. Well, this one, Icon, took only a few months to write the first draft, to write the whole story. I think less than 6 months. But it's taken me a lot longer before to write a novel. So I think this one was just special. It just all came at once, and I tried to write it as quickly as it would come. But each day I was waking up at very early in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the morning, and getting my coffee and just writing as quickly as I could, because I was interested in seeing how it ended, and I didn't know how it was going to end until I got there.
So your characters, they started, I heard that before, that your characters are actually developing, they give them the story themselves, right? It's like you just have to and find them and to hear what they're trying to tell you, right? About them.
That's what it felt like. I definitely didn't have much of a plan for where I was going. I just started writing, and it took over.
How interesting. Yeah, I guess some people, they have to make a full plan of what's going to happen, all the stories, all the characters. They draw outlines, how they're connected to each other, when they meet, blah, blah, blah. So you were just floating. You were just floating, right?
Yeah. I would like to be able to plan things out that well, but I don't. If I plan everything, then I get bored and I'm not interested in writing it anymore. So it has to be a mystery.
Interesting. Wonderful. Thank you. Do you see someone as a prototype of your character, or they just come to your mind?
Yeah, I start with certain people in mind when I start writing, just because it's easier to write about a character when you already know in real life how they would respond or what they would do. But really, that's just the beginning of the story, and then after that, the character sort of takes on their own life and start making their own choices. So I can't say that every character in the book is some real person, but there were definitely inspirations for the characters as they started.
Okay, great, thank you. Did you think that your fictionary book will become so realistic in such a near future? I mean, I don't know how it was in America, but here during the quarantine time, all these closed churches and secret liturgies took part in our life, and something I was reading half a year before it happened as a fictionary story, but then half a year later, here we are facing not as bad as what it is a Disney book, but something very similar.
Yeah, I really didn't see that happening. I mean, I wrote the book sort of with the idea that things in America have become very much more secular and less, Christian than they used to be. But I really wasn't trying to make a political statement when I was writing the story. I just thought, oh, this would be interesting. I was reading about Soviet times in Russia and in different parts of Eastern Europe, and how things really changed very quickly from Christianity being the religion of everyone, the accepted religion, to suddenly being illegal and persecuted. And I just thought, wow, what if that happened where I lived? What would that look like? And then, very, very soon after I wrote the book, we started having so much political unrest in America with, Donald Trump becoming president, and people being very angry over Hillary losing, and the quarantines, and, rioting and churches being burned and things like that. And I just thought, wow, people are going to think that I wrote this about, everything that's happening now, but I really didn't. So it's been kind of scary, actually, seeing how some of the things are so like what I wrote. I had thoughts when I wrote those parts of the story that this is unrealistic. This couldn't ever happen. And then I would go back and read different stories from Russia about, priests posing as youth group leaders, or sports team leaders, or professors, and different people doing secret liturgies, and I thought, this actually did happen. This is something that's very possible, and it's just really kind of arrogant for us to think that it couldn't possibly ever happen to us. So I wrote the book more as a way of thinking, that we should all know how we would respond, or at least know how we would want to respond in that kind of situation. Although I'm sure that I would not respond as well as Euphrosyne did, or as Mimi, or any of the other characters, because they're incredibly brave, and I'm sure that it would be very difficult.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, we're talking about the book. I'm trying not to talk about the end of the story. And I think it's highly important not to tell anybody how your story ends. Okay?
That's probably a good idea. I think that might ruin it if you know the ending.
Yeah. Because you've got to find out yourself. Yeah, you should not hear from anybody else.
And that was interesting for me when I was writing it, because I said I didn't know the ending either, and so I got to the ending and I thought, oh. So it was very strange reaching that point. But I hope everyone likes how it ends.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope that the presentation goes really well.